Hello, fabulous people. This is the Together podcast, and this is the place where Cherise and I come together to help you get it together for your everyday business life. So we hope you enjoy. All right. Good morning, everybody. We are live, and I apologize. We're late. We're still trying to make improvements. So, like the McDonald's sign used to say, "Here we grow again." Pardon our
Yes,
while we
yes,
grow.
and
But I'm
no,
so excited because
yes,
it is forward progression, and
yes,
I'm so proud of us because first of all, my partner Cherise, thank you so much for being patient with me. Like I really
of
appreciate
course,
you and just
of
your
course.
heart and your spirit. So let's jump into the title today. All right, what are we talking about? Because I'm so excited.
Um, Becoming an expert and thought leader in your space.
Mm,
Uh, yes, that is the topic for today.
okay.
And let's really speak to that key word, becoming.
Ooh.
I
Okay.
love that
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
we're all becoming. You can put the persona out there like you have became.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
you may have reached a certain level, but I think in the space we are speaking to, it is the becoming of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna love this topic because one of my topics for the week is my series is fraud, thought, fraud, thought, imposter syndrome. So this is gonna speak really good to that topic today.
Okay. I'm excited about this topic because I've actually been a little interested in what does it mean to become a thought leader.
Mhm.
Um, and so what essentially it means is that you talked enough that online you have at least 7 hours of content. So if somebody wanted to binge on you for the day, like if somebody wanted to be like, I'm taking a road trip, I'm gonna listen to Cherise all day on the
Yeah,
road trip.
yeah.
It needs to be 7 hours of content out there on you.
Oh, awesome.
And in your content, you need to have some ideas, just some
Mhm.
ideas. And it could be old ideas that you're making new. It could
Yeah,
be new ideas, it could be innovative ideas. I mean, but you're taking your spin and your twist on them.
yeah.
Okay.
I
Bonus
love
points
it.
if it's a little bit controversial. Like if
Mhm,
everybody else is
mhm.
saying go left and you're like, nah, I really think you should go
Nah,
right.
yeah,
And so
exactly.
having your specific ideas, and for those of you guys who don't have your ideas yet, I'm going to challenge you to write one blog post a week. Just whatever comes to mind. If you write one blog post a week and then a year go back and look at your writing, and you will be able to tell what your things are, like what the things that you're passionate about. You'll be able to see it, like the themes of what you've been writing for a year. So that's a very, very easy way to do it. If you don't want to do that, because a year feels like, oh, that feels like forever, um, then sit down and really think about what you've been saying throughout the years. Or ask
Mhm.
your friends around you, what are you always preaching? What are you always teaching? What are your things? I think, and or just start listening to them. But you always say, I do, don't I? Okay, let me go write that
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
And so those are the things. And so I think the term thought leadership, thought leader,
yeah,
gets for me was really intimidating. Like, man, I got to be a thought leader. What does that mean? I don't
yeah,
understand that.
yeah.
But it means owning your opinions and saying them repeatedly.
Yes,
That's it. Saying them
exactly.
enough to where
Yeah,
you have 7 hours of content that
yeah,
somebody could
yeah,
binge. Yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. And honestly, if you go back and look at your content from the beginning, if
Right?
you are real and if you have been moving in your purpose consistently,
Yes.
you have been saying the same thing, and
Mm-hmm.
your words have evolved.
Mm-hmm.
Your perspective has evolved.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wanted to speak a little bit about owning your unique perspective and expertise
Ooh.
and what makes you different.
Yeah.
You've lived, you've experienced, you have a signature approach, and that is what sets you apart. But I think that this is the space where people get, they just get
Yeah.
a little caught up and confused. You just said it, like a thought leader, that's intimidating, an expert, that's intimidating. But I love the thought of thought leader. because
Yeah.
these are my thoughts. This is
Yeah.
how I feel. This is my perspective in
Mm-hmm.
all these years in this space. This
Yeah.
is how I feel about it.
Yeah.
And I have the right to feel about it because
Yeah.
I've invested in myself. I've educated myself. I've, served clients. I've been served.
Right.
I've taken our kind of coaching programs and, so I have the right because
Mm-hmm.
I've invested in myself to be a thought leader in
Mm-hmm.
this space. I'm not a super fan of the word expert, but we're in an industry where it's
Yeah.
just a word that is used, and that's okay too.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're an expert, you're an expert. If you don't want to brag about being an expert, that's fine. But just go talk your talk,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk your
Okay. Tell
talk.
me. Tell me why you're not a fan of the word expert. I just want to know. I'm being nosy.
And this is just personal for me, and just like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of the word coach,
Okay.
because I think it was overused, and I
Okay.
think that when you use the word coach, I think it intimidates some people. At the same time, for some people, they need the word coach,
Mm-hmm.
because I remember when people started calling me coach. Hey, coach. Hey, coach. I'm like, I ain't no coach. But it's something I had to embody and embrace because
Yeah.
I was helping and serving and coaching people. But I
Yeah.
was also, and just to be transparent, because trust me, if there's no transparency, there's no transformation. So being transparent with you all, um, I just didn't feel like I was enough. So I didn't want to
Mm.
accept the word coach or expert. It was too
Mm-hmm.
much pressure on me. And at the time, I just didn't want it. I'm at a place in my life and career now where I feel like you can put anything you want on me because I can step in any room and I can stand my ground.
Yeah.
I can stand in who I am. I can say what I want to say about what I want and
Mm-hmm.
feel good about it, feel
Mm-hmm.
confident about it. Because here's the thing I'm not going to do. I'm not going to speak on something I don't know about,
Okay.
period.
That's a good
So
lesson.
I stay in
Yeah.
my lane. If
Yeah.
you stay in your lane, you absolutely have the right to be a thought leader.
Gosh, that's so good. That's so good. All right. If somebody is having problems staying in their not staying in their lane, but standing in their opinion. Like, but if I say this, people not gonna like me. They not gonna agree with me. I don't want to get like trolled. I don't want to get in trouble. What would you say to them?
Well, it goes back to confidence and who you are, what you have to say. But I think something that's really important because I noticed a lot of people who really are brilliant, really know their stuff. It's
Mm-hmm.
just that when it comes, maybe they have an issue with speaking, with public speaking, or they have an issue with private groups or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. My thought process is, you have to really develop a clear, repeatable message, all right,
Yes.
that speaks directly to your ideal market.
Yes.
And like you said, Natalie, you say it all the time. You speak it all the time. You say it. So why are you afraid when the idea of masses of people may hear it, which is what
Right.
you want?
Right. Which
It's
is what you
what you
want.
want.
Mm-hmm.
But why is it that the idea of it makes you shrink, right?
Yes.
Why does it make you want to turn and run when you
Yeah.
know you're really good at this? So that's
Mm-hmm.
why it's super important for you to definitely develop that clear message because I think a lot of times at the point where we are right now, we're in information overload. You do know a lot,
Yeah.
a whole lot. And then we know more than what we probably should know. So when it
Yeah.
comes to, that computer in your brain, when it's time to say something, what you need and want to say, you're bringing up information and you're trying to tap into what is it should I say this time? But
Right.
I think people are trying to tap in and say what they think the people want to hear, which is
Yeah.
important. It's extremely important, but it's not just the people; it's your people. What
Yes.
do your
Yes.
people
Yes.
want and need to
Yes.
hear? Okay, so
Yes.
that's why it has to be a clear message and then it has to be repeatable. You want people to
Mm-hmm.
share it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be able to repeat it and then you want other people to say it. Like, ooh, yeah. And I give you one example. People love my term. and it's not mine. I got it from Wayne Dyer. But I love open to everything, attached to nothing. It's like when I say that, it seems to penetrate for people.
Mhm.
And they repeat it back to me. And every time I see them, they repeat it back to me.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
those are repeatable messages that speak
Yeah.
directly to your ideal audience
Yeah.
and be
Yeah.
known for that.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Oh, it's so okay. So many things I want to go. So many places I want to go with
Yes,
that.
yes,
Um. Okay. First, I think I want to say is when you're thinking about what your message is, what your core message is.
yeah,
Don't think about the masses. Think
right.
about, like you said, your people. But I'm gonna get
Yeah,
even more specific because when I've done
yeah,
coaching, I've talked to people about. Tell me the one person you feel like you were sent on this earth to help. What's the message you would give that one person? You only supposed to
yeah,
help one person, and that narrows it down a lot for people. It just to think about that one person that they're supposed to help. And so if you're stuck, do that exercise. What's the one message you're supposed to give to one person? What's the one thing you know that would help them in their life that you've learned personally? So I want you guys to know that. And then once you develop that message, then you have to practice it yourself. Like I want you to know it. And if you need to sit down and really get some help with it, ChatGPT is like my new best friend.
hmm
And
hmm
so
hmm
it
hmm
is so good. You can put in like something and say, okay, give me an acronym for this. Give me, this is what I want to say to the world. Break it down to 7 words that rhyme. Like you
Yeah.
can really to put that polish on it. So that's
Mhm.
the thing that you can do. And then I want to let you guys know, and I'm really repeating what Cherise just said, but I want to repeat it
Yeah.
because I think it's worth repeating is you're not speaking to everybody. You're just speaking to your people. And so yes, some people are gonna have a reaction to what you
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
That is a
Yeah.
good thing.
It's a
That
good thing.
means that your message has reached beyond your circle, beyond your friends, beyond the people who love you and like you and rock with you to the people who don't. And that's what you
Yeah.
want. And so
Yeah.
when you guys get that negative feedback, I need you to go into a praise dance. Like I need you to be like,
Yeah.
yes, I
Yeah.
finally made it
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
that uncharted territory of people who don't like me. And they're
Yeah.
listening and know that they're listening to you because they got to
Yeah.
listen to you to be able to refute what you're saying.
Yeah.
And so
Absolutely.
I don't want you guys to get discouraged by that. I don't want you to be afraid. And if you feel like you don't have the confidence to do it, then I need y'all to drop down in the service. I need you to drop down in the service. And so I don't want you thinking like, I don't know if I'm good enough to get out on stage and do this. No, what I want you saying is I'm here to serve, and there's at least one person in that audience that needs to hear what I have to say.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so I'm going to
Absolutely.
go on this stage and I'm going to say my one thing to that one person. Because if I had known it, I would have had a different life. And they're going to have a different life because of what I say. And so when you drop down into that, we're not worried about being confident anymore. Now we're just trying to serve. We're trying to look in the
Mhm.
audience and find that one person
Mhm.
that I can talk to that needs to hear what I have to say today. Because
Yes.
they're here and they fought to get here.
Yep.
Something
Yep.
happened, they fought to get here, but that one person's here to hear me say
Mhm.
this one thing because the
Mhm.
way I say it is going to hit different than how they've ever heard it before. It's this
Okay.
the time, it's the space. And so that's
Yeah.
what I'm here for. I'm here to serve that one person. I think
Yeah.
when you break it down like that, then I think that becomes easier for you then to walk out on stage because you're no longer thinking about yourself and what everybody is going to say. Now you're
Yeah.
thinking that one person and how you need to serve. Like, what do I
Yes.
need to say?
Yes.
Do I
Yes.
say it
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Do I need to say this part louder and this part softer so they really hear me and get it? Like,
Yeah.
what do I need to do so that they get this message? And when it
Yeah.
becomes like that, now that takes on a whole new spirit, I want to say,
Mhm. It does.
like a whole new spirit of what you're trying to do.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so do you guys do your work, get your principles, your thought leadership together.
Mhm.
I've given you some very practical ways to start and do. And then pivot that into your content pillars, and then you're gonna say it over and over and over and over and over again, you know, and just keep saying it. And Sharice, you're huge on that, and so thank you so much because you say get one thing, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And I think you
Mhm.
started saying that. what you went in a speaking program, and that's what you came out with. I remember, like, rinse
Yeah.
and repeat, rinse and repeat,
Yeah.
and that's what I've
Yeah.
been hearing over and over
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
So, I got a new professional baby daddy, y'all, and his name is Daniel Priestley online. And so right now I'm consuming all of his content. But that's one of his things is do it and then do it again. And
Yeah.
so he
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like, if you got a book launch and you launched your book and you
Yeah.
got, let's say you got two clients from launching your book,
Mhm.
he said launch the book again
And again, and
and
again, and
again
again, and
and
again, and
again
again.
and again.
Yeah.
And so if you got to have a book launching every month,
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
week, if that's
Yeah.
what worked for you and
Yeah.
got you a client, then let's do it again.
Yeah.
Let's do it
Yeah.
again. Let's do it
Yeah.
again. And I thought that was so interesting because even I was thinking a book launch, you only launch a book one time. Why? 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 Why?
Yeah. It's crazy. You can do, and here's the thing about entrepreneurship. What does entrepreneurship mean? You can do what the freak you want. You create something out of nothing every time, again and again and again. Like that's what we do. We create something out of nothing. It's in our DNA. It's
Yeah.
just innate for us, but we forget, like especially now with social media just being judged and ridiculed and watching others. Oh guys, I have to speak to this real quick.
Okay.
So a lot of times we take on other people's energy, right?
Mm.
So, for instance, something that may have happened to a friend, a girlfriend, or a client, you
Yep.
take on their energy
Yep.
as if it happened to you,
Mm-hmm.
and you never had that problem.
Never.
I've seen this over and over again with women. Like you're taking on your girlfriend. I even did it before. I had to check myself many years ago when I first got to Atlanta, and people were just talking bad about dating. And actually, it was some years after, but people were talking bad about dating in Atlanta. Like, this is bad, this all this negative stuff I don't really want to say, but. And I caught myself in the middle of it, Natalie. And I was like, I was in the salon behind the chair, and I was like,
Yeah.
and I got to thinking of mine. And I was like, wait a minute.
Right.
I don't have those same experiences. Let me stop. And it was a lesson. I said, you cannot take on other people's stories
Say
and
that.
make it your own. Okay. So with social media, because you see someone else get trolled, or because, first of all, so what? These are people who don't even have the courage to put their
Right.
faces on social half the time, or be
Ain't
who
that
they
part.
really are. So you're sitting up here and you are concerned, way too concerned about someone who doesn't matter and their opinions. And like you said, ruffle some feathers, tear up some stuff
You
every
gonna
now and
ruffle some
then.
feathers. Like
Like you need
it's
to,
okay.
and we need to not ruffle feathers, we need to disrupt stuff. That's what we need to
Ooh,
do,
ooh,
and
ooh.
we're so scared to ruffle feathers.
Mm-hmm.
We're caught up in not speaking our piece, not speaking our
Mm-hmm.
mind. And it's like, say it anyway. And once you say it again and again and
And
again and
again, and
again.
again,
Do
and
it
again.
anyway. And once you do it again and again and again. And we have
Yeah.
to encourage each other to do it.
Yeah.
When are you going to do that again? You did something so magnificent and you never did it again.
Yeah. Right? Like why didn't you keep doing that?
Why
Like
didn't you keep doing it?
it was working. It was
And
working.
I think that's a culture thing, for some reason. I think it is. And you have to not
Could
be
be.
embarrassed to um, overdo it, overdo
Yeah.
it,
Right. But
overdo it,
yeah. And what does that mean? Because
over.
you overdoing it doesn't mean anybody else sees you overdoing it. So case in point, somebody was saying, well, I don't want to be like saying the same thing on social media over and over again, and I don't know what to say different. Why not? Everybody is not reading your post that you post every day. The way a lot of people consume social media, they may see you the way the algorithm is set up.
Yes,
They might see
yes,
you, they might
yes,
not. So you
yes, yes,
absolutely need to be posting the same thing every day, all
yes,
day long. Like whatever
yes.
your thing is, just keep posting it. Just keep
Mhm.
posting. If that's your thing, keep posting it over and over again. And you, okay, y'all, why do you feel like you can't post the same thing every day and yet you see the same Target commercial 1,000 times, the same McDonald's commercial 1,000 times, the same Chick-fil-A commercial 1,000 times, There are some commercials that I seen as a kid so many times that I still remember the theme music to the
Same.
song
Yes.
a
Same.
thousand times.
Yep.
And so please
Absolutely.
never be, what's the word, ashamed that you're repeating things over again or feel some
Right.
type of negative way
Yeah.
about it, because that's what you
Imposter
need to do.
syndrome.
And that's what's going to get you to success, right?
Yes, yes, it's the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Once again, like you
Yeah.
want to know how it shows up. It shows up in you not showing up.
Right.
It shows up in
Yeah.
you not, you
Yeah.
hesitating and you second guessing. That's how it shows up. And
Yeah.
that's one reason why I love, love, love this podcast. Because I feel like we get to take things and break it down and unpack it in ways that people never heard it. Because,
Yeah.
people talk about the imposter syndrome, and I've had people say, "Oh, I've never dealt with that." You probably have. You just don't know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And let me give you some ways that you probably are showing up. Like, how's your bank account looking? How's your love
Money
life
gonna tell the
looking?
truth, right? Your money will tell the truth of what's going
Your
on.
money will
Right.
tell you
Right.
everything, right? So it's like just, really owning. And we're this, although we, took a sidebar, this still is owning becoming a thought leader,
Yeah.
because you can't become a thought leader and be so stuck in imposter
Hmm.
syndrome that you
Yeah.
don't show up. You
Yeah.
know, you cannot be a thought leader and not be consistent. You can't be
Hmm.
a thought leader and don't have repeatable messages that speak to your audience,
Right.
right?
Right. And if y'all have consumed anybody's content and binged anybody's content, you will realize they're basically saying the same thing over and over and
Say the
over
same
again,
thing over and over.
over and over and
Yeah,
over again.
yeah.
And so I want to speak to a fear that two fears that I think that might be coming up for people. The first fear is the fear that you're gonna mess up. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's accept that you are gonna mess up. Let's accept that you're gonna get a statistic wrong or
Mhm.
something, and you can correct it. And so I think the biggest lesson I got in that is y'all know Alton Brown. He's a food guy. He lives in Atlanta. He's in the Atlanta area, but he has a TV show where he does like the scientific behind food,
Mhm.
like pasta,
Mhm.
the science of it. He breaks it down.
Mhm.
Alton Brown. And so he did a whole episode. He was like, all right, y'all, when I did this episode 10 years ago, I totally messed up. Like we gave y'all all the wrong information. And so
Yeah, yeah,
here is
yeah,
the correction episode.
yeah.
And I
Good.
didn't think anything of it, but like
Loved it.
interesting.
Yeah.
Like nothing
You
of it.
gave us what you knew then.
Yes. So he's still Alton Brown. He didn't lose no
Yeah,
points for that.
yeah,
And so please know that you can get things wrong. And when you figure it out, you can course correct. And your
yeah,
people will love you more for it. We love
yeah,
authenticity. We love when
yeah,
people say, hey, I messed up. I was wrong.
yeah,
Let me give you the correct
yeah,
information now.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yes,
Love.
my brother attends World Changes. And
Mhm.
so he's been saying that lately he feels like Pastor Dollar has been saying, hey, when I was younger, I don't know if
Mhm.
this was the best. Now I'm trying to do this better. And
I love
so,
it.
and they still love him for it because we understand that you should be growing in wisdom. You should be growing in experience. You should be learning some things. So definitely, yeah, please don't have that fear. Be okay messing up. Accept that failure is part of the process, that messing up, that we looking for progress, not perfection. Please, please know that.
Yeah,
All right. The
yeah.
second thing I want to talk about that might be a fear for you guys and just stepping into that true role of thought leadership is that you might be scared to pigeonhole yourself or niche yourself down,
Mhm.
and you can still change. Like
Mhm.
you can change.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so you can talk about the left wing or whatever you want to talk about all day long, and then say, hey y'all, I need to make a pivot. I need to start talking about the right wing. Like your people, first of all, your core you is still gonna be you, even if you
Mhm.
change messages,
Mhm. Mhm.
and just don't be afraid of that. And
Yeah.
even if you start off with like the completely wrong message for you and you just get into a deeper message, it's
Mhm.
okay. Like
Yeah.
it's okay. Your people will change with you. And so there's What's her name? Her name is Darnell Harvey
Mhm,
Jervy, I think.
mhm,
You've heard of
mhm.
her?
Yeah.
Okay, when she first started out, she was just like the incredible one, the incredible one. And now I think she's million pathway to millions, something that sounds really cool with
Mhm,
millions though.
mhm, mhm.
Um, something make your millions. I don't know, but she's changed over the years, and we
Yeah.
watched her the whole way, and we
Yeah.
love it. Like I love it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I've seen her like grow or her message grow, and I really
Mhm,
feel like it's grown with her audience. And
mhm.
so when she first started, she was just talking to individuals about you being an
Yeah.
incredible one, and now
Yeah.
she's talking to that same individual. But now we need to get you to the million. Now we
Yes.
need to get you to the millions. And
Yeah.
so I've just watched her change over the years. And
Yeah.
people will, they like that. Like they like
It's
that
the
approach.
evolution. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the evolution.
exactly.
And we
Oh
can do it
God, that's the
together.
word.
We can
We can
evolve
do it together. We
together.
can evolve together.
And you
We can
should.
evolve together. And so, I mean, think about Steve Harvey and how many iterations of his life, we've
Hmm.
had, from just a
And
comedian to the TV
yeah,
shows to the
yeah,
stand-up
yeah,
comedy comedian show to the kid
yeah,
show to the now
yeah,
Family Feud. And so people love to watch your evolution. So
yeah,
don't be afraid that you got to get it all right now. Just start so you can
yeah.
amass a following, so you can get some people with you, so you can get out there and say something and be heard. So just start, please just start, and it'll work out and it'll be
Mhm.
okay. So
Yeah.
any other fears y'all can think that people might have with becoming that stepping into that thought leadership? This is such a good topic for today. Oh my gosh. This is so
Yeah,
speaking to my heart and my
it
life.
is. And we have to remember a lot of times we be
Yes.
having part two because
Right.
it's so much we're not tapping
Say
into
it.
with this
Yeah.
conversation because this is so good right here.
Yeah.
So we have to have notes on this. But I think that just overall, what you're saying, Natalie, is people are fearful about showing up as who they really are. Um, and I think, no, I know that if you just be who you are, like don't be afraid to be who you are. Yes, I've been a hairstylist for many years. I became an image consultant.
Yeah.
I became an international certified image consultant.
Wow.
Um, I went and took a really expensive speaker training that I'm excited to get my ROI on, and it has really helped me with my thought process because I
Hmm.
think for me, I think so many people are in their head when it
Yeah.
comes to speaking. They don't
Yeah.
what the number one thing I hear from people is, I don't know what to say. Oh, you know what to say. You just
Yeah.
need to organize
Hmm.
what you need to say for this audience,
Hmm. Hmm.
until you just get really good with talking. Because once you get really good with talking, baby, you'll be ready for stages and you have no idea what you're about to talk about. But when you see that audience, it'll hit you.
Yeah.
That's when you know, because
Hmm.
it's really an energy thing. It's an energy exchange.
Hmm.
You have an idea, maybe they give you a topic to talk
Hmm.
about, but within that topic, once you see the audience and start resonating with them, you'll know exactly what to talk to and what to speak to within that audience because you have so many
Hmm.
topics to talk
Hmm.
about within you.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
why it's important for you to
Yeah.
start a podcast
Say
or
that.
join many podcasts
Say
and just
that.
talk, 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 talk,
Yep.
talk, and get confident in
Yep.
talking.
Hmm. All right. I want to give y'all some other practical advice. All
Mhm.
right. So spend some time with your friends or write your blog. Either way, it doesn't matter. But you've already been talking about some things. So sit down, write those out, write what your 3 points are. Like get organized, because if you at least sit down one time and get it organized, then now you got it. Like now it's in your brain. And then repeat that a couple of times. The other really practical thing to do is Dan Sullivan talks about Dan Sullivan. He's the author of Not How, Not Who. What? I can't think of the name of the book, but he's written several books, and we've talked about
Why
it on the
not
show.
you? Why not? It's not why not you.
Something.
No, it's not why not you.
Anyway,
Okay.
Dan Sullivan, he's great. But what he talks about is having 3 money making days a week and 2 days where you're doing your paperwork and stuff like that. And he was one of those days. He was like, you just need to practice. And he
Mhm.
was like
Mhm.
the greatest singers, the greatest players, the greatest of all. They have to practice. They put hours
Yeah.
and hours and hours into practice. And so
Mhm.
I know you guys are busy. I know you guys are busy. But if you are stepping into thought leadership, what we are asking you to do, like this is the call. All
Mhm.
right, do y'all
Mhm.
officially hear it? Right?
Mhm.
This
Mhm.
is your call right now for you to step into your role as a thought leader for your people. This is a
Mhm.
call. There's no
Mhm.
need for you to doubt it. I am talking to you. Okay,
Yeah.
we got it. Be clear. Don't be doubting. Don't be looking at the people behind you. This message is for you. All right, go, Cherise.
Exactly. So if you were on this page
Yes,
today, if you were on this platform
yes.
listening to this message today, it
Right
is
now,
meant for you.
it is meant for you. It is
It
meant for
was
you.
meant for you to step into your thought leadership role
Mm-hmm.
right
It
here,
is
right now.
right here, right now. This is for you. So I'm going to ask you, now that you have heard the call and answered, I'm going to ask you to take 10 minutes, a couple of days a week, and just go over your main points. Go over your main points. And then practice it. Like every time you need to get on a Zoom call, you can practice how to introduce yourself
Yeah. Yeah.
until you get that thing down pat.
Yeah.
Y'all, there's 1,000 YouTube videos out there on like how
Mhm.
you can introduce yourself with impact.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
watch 3 YouTube videos. Next time you're in your car driving somewhere, sitting it through the drive-through, watch a couple of YouTube videos on how to speak with impact.
Mhm.
How to take
Mhm.
any question and bring it back to your point of what you
Yeah.
talk about what your core message is. And y'all
Yeah.
seen it. Y'all seen it done.
Yeah.
Politicians are excellent at it. Watch
Mhm.
some politicians; they are
Yeah.
excellent,
Yeah.
excellent
They
at
are.
the anchor or the news, the person who's interviewing them, throw them one question, and they take that question and turn around to talk about and pivot about whatever their main thing is that they're trying to get across to the people of
Mhm.
America. And so
Mhm.
watch politicians and how they do it. They are excellent at that. They
Mhm.
really practice, but they
Mhm.
practice. And so it ain't no shame. And matter of fact, somebody was just saying that if it sounds like you are, if it sounds inauthentic, that you haven't practiced enough.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so you
Yep.
want to practice so much. And so I
Mhm.
want y'all to embrace it. Like
Mhm.
there are not many people who just arrived and were brilliant when they arrived. And
Mhm.
so they practice. If you look at all of the stars, they practice all the time,
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
all the time. You can, most of them have some behind the scenes of where you see them practicing, and even practicing like before the concert. There's usually a sound check and all of these things to make sure we got it right for the show. And so I want you guys to embrace that. So, okay, that's all I got to say. I'm gonna take some water. All right, Sharice, what do you want to say to the people?
Okay. So, oh wow, it's 9:43 already.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we put the message out there. We called them to the altar on
Yes,
this Tuesday morning. We called you out to the altar,
yes.
and really holding you accountable for the space that you should be operating in. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm also at this age, over 40, with 10, 20 plus years in business. You're a thought leader.
Yeah,
You are an expert
yeah.
in at something, and you should own it. And I would like to, if we could do one practical teaching for them right now, Natalie, and like, can you just tell them who you help and how you help them? Because I want them to see how you do that with authority.
Okay, the one that I am currently practicing right now, because you guys, I'm starting a new thing. It's a marriage intensive weekend. And
Mhm.
so right now, this is what I'm practicing. So, all right, I'll give it to you guys. First of all, I got it from my new baby daddy, Daniel Priestley. All right. And so he says, and this is what I've been practicing, you're going to do name, same, fame, aim, and game.
Mhm.
Okay. Again, this is Daniel Priestley, not me. And so he
Okay.
says you start out with your name.
Mhm.
Okay. And then you say something that's the same as what people would understand. And so
Okay.
I'm Natalie Elliott. I'm a marriage and family therapist. People understand that. And
Mhm.
then anything that you're famous for, And then what's your aim? What do you want to be doing in the next 90 days? And then what's the bigger game that you want to play in life? Like, how does all of this add up to the bigger game? So, name, same, fame, aim, and game. And I
And that's good.
really like that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
so,
like that too.
thank y'all for giving me the opportunity to practice.
Yes.
All right. So I will start with hello, everybody. My name is Natalie Aline Nicole Elliott, and I am a marriage and family therapist. I've been doing this work for like 20 years, and I have a practice that's been around 15 years, Atlanta Sex Therapy. What I am up to right now, though, is so exciting. What I've identified is that entrepreneurial couples, those people out there that want to run their own business, that their marriages are under attack.
Mm,
So, right now, if you are in a business partnership, it only has a 30% chance of success. If you run
mm,
in a marriage, it only has a 50% chance of success. So, when
mm,
y'all are marital business partners, your chances of success, wow, are even lower.
mm. Oh,
So,
wow.
I have created the Maritalpreneurs Intensive Weekend. So to help these couples. Now, this is the bigger thing. This is the bigger thing is that small businesses account for 90% of the businesses in the world and the world economy. I know y'all think it's Amazon. It is not. It's all of these small mom and pop businesses out there.
Mm,
And the greatest threat to them is divorce. And
mm.
so
Oh,
think about it. I've seen businesses and the parents get divorced and the business has to be sold off, it's sold in
yeah,
pieces,
yeah, yeah.
it broke down. I've seen it
Mhm.
affect community.
Yes,
And so
yes,
that's what I'm up
absolutely.
to right now. That's the bigger game to make sure all of these small businesses can continue to employ the people that they employ. And I start with marriages.
Awesome. I love that. Oh my gosh. And let me say
I'm getting
this,
better.
we got to no, that was absolutely phenomenal. You did a great job. We know exactly who you are, what you do, who you serve, how you serve them, and where you are taking them in the world.
Okay.
Um, you got to connect with Dr. Tori again.
I
Y'all
do.
have to have a conversation.
I
Oh my
do. Okay.
goodness.
I'll call
Yeah,
her.
you are in the
She's on my
right
list.
same space. Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, I'm gonna adopt that
Yeah.
actually, but I'm not there.
Okay. You
I'm
getting
gonna
there.
adopt it.
You getting
But
it.
simply, in the more simplified form, ladies and gentlemen, I teach high achieving women how to captivate and command any room with confidence, style, and presence without second guessing themselves.
Ooh, girl. Preach
That's
that.
just,
Yes.
yes, yes, that's just plain and simple for me. But I am definitely going to go do my homework on that elevator speech that you just gave us. But here's the thing, there's elevation to it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm definitely going to go do my homework on that. I love that.
Yeah. It's good. Okay. Closing thoughts. What do you want the people to take away from today?
You're a thought leader, and it's time for you to own your space. It's
Mm-hmm.
time for you to walk in it. It's time for you to stop second guessing yourself and move forward. And
Yeah.
if you need any assistance, if you want to know where to start, you need to just contact Natalie or myself.
Yeah. Um, Actually, that's the same thing I would say. Like, you have something to say. You've been saying it already. So that thing that you're passionate about, that thing that you be like, don't let me go there because y'all
Yeah,
know I get started. Like,
yeah,
that's your thing. You have
yeah,
something to say, and so say it. And understand that failure is part of the process. So I don't want you guys saying, "Oh, I don't have it perfect yet." I need you to get out there and practice and
yeah,
get it perfect. Like, practice
yeah,
makes perfect. In
yeah,
progress, we want progress, not perfection. So that's what I want.
yeah.
All right. So our social media producer has told us that we need to do a better job ending the show. So we're going to ask you guys to like us and
Yes,
subscribe, especially on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button.
yes,
This is
yes,
Cherise B, and I am Natalie Elliott. And this was
yes.
the Together podcast. And we love y'all and we want to serve you guys. And so just let us know what you need.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right. Happy Tuesday.
All right.
Talk
Have
to
a
you
great
soon.
day. Bye.
Great job. Awesome job.
Audio Jungle.